Hey everybody, it's Foreboding Angel here. I'm going to show you some of the work that I've been doing on my generic CEG stuff. This is for, well, it's for anybody to use really, but it's mainly geared towards new modders and stuff like that. I'm hoping this can be included in Flozzy's ABC mod, but I'll show you what I mean. Basically, I've done a bit more work on them since the last time I made a video of it. Basically, I've added quite a few little touches and whatnot that don't take any more particles per se or anything like that. So, one of the coolest things that I've done so far recently is made the explosions look 3D, and I'll show you what I mean. Like that. So, okay, you see how that kind of looks ball-shaped or whatnot? It's actually just a fake. It's an extra sprite at a 90-degree angle from the camera, and you can actually see in a practical demonstration like this. Heavy tank 2. Okay. Oops. Helps if you remember your own unit names. Okay, so let's have this guy shoot here. Okay, see how that looks? Alright, now we go sideways. And see how we kind of have a shockwave? That's just a 2D sprite, but it kind of gives the illusion or whatnot, and so for the cost of a single particle, we get kind of a 3D effect, and so it looks really cool when you have a whole bunch of units fighting. Just real quickly, I'll kind of show what I mean by that. Like, let's say, let's get 4 more of these things. Let's give 1 burrow to each team. Okay, we'll give 4 of those. Oops, wrong team. You can actually see some of the effects of the explosions here too. Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, so that's team 1, and we'll give them like here, 3. Okay, and let's see. And okay, whatever, that'll work. Okay, so we just want to kind of see how these look when they get into a fight. So we're gonna go ahead and okay, you can see how pretty all this stuff looks. Let's see. Oh man, I was gonna say just for shits and giggles, but whatever. Okay, but you see all these, how it looks when they hit and everything like that? You know, you got the very 3D effect going on. It's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and kill these guys, and we'll kind of go through the toolbox real quick. Okay, so basically here's the deal. You can view these through the toolbox in the CEG spawner. Okay, and they're all listed under generic. Now, there's ones for weapon hits, and there's ones for unit hits, and they're different. Generic shell explosion without a color name, that's orange. That's supposed to be your basic explosion. Okay, so for example, that's large. Okay, and these do use a lot of particles, but they use particles that live and die very, very quickly, so it will not have a large impact, so you can feel free to use these like crazy. It's really cool. Okay, so you can see all these. There's ones for practically everything. They come in multiple different... there's also one for sparks. I'll click it a billion times so you can see that. The ones I'm showing you are the large, of course. Oh yeah, and medium. Okay, then we get to the various different colors here. The medium lightning's always a favorite, and then you have small, of course. So, okay, now let's go to the unit ones. I'll show those real quick. They're slightly different. They're timed a little bit differently. So we have that. These are the huge ones. These are designed to be for huge stuff. In fact, let's go to medium, just so that way it's a bit more practical application here. Okay. And you can see these are really pretty, especially when you have big fights going on. And you can also see how the 2D sprite isn't timed exactly to the inner ground flash. That is intentional. And when it actually happens, let's see, let's use green. Green's a nice, okay. And these are made so that you can change them easily. Very, very, very simple to change. Any newbie can do these. This is really simple. Okay, so let's jump out of game real quick. And there we go. Okay, I'm just going to go over this really quickly. These use very few textures. You can find them in Smoth's public domain texture repository thing that he released a while back. That's also, of course, in the Evolution RTS GitHub. So, the only truly custom texture that's used is this explosion wave. And that's actually the same texture as the ground flash, but it needed to be a different sprite. So, and you can kind of change these pretty much however you like. There's ones for whether it's in the air or on ground or on the water. Let me show air real quick. Give 5E heavy tank 3. Okay. Now let's bring in some gunships here real quick. Gunship 2, and actually, you know what? I'm gonna give the gunships to my team so that way I can actually charge in on these guys. So that way you'll see the spread a little bit better. Okay, so now check these out. Okay, you see all the explosions in the air? You know, they look really fantastic, so cool stuff, right? Alright, so you can change these easily. They are all pretty well laid out. Well, not pretty well, they are very well laid out. You can make your own really easily. You know, a lot of these, if you wanted to make a specific one, you could just change little things, like, for example, kicked up dirt and kicked up water. That's the effect that happens when it hits. So, like, for example, see all that dirt, those dirt particles that come out? Same thing happens in water. Okay, and then the rest of it is just kind of flare stuff. Outer flash is the big thing that comes up. See that thing that lives and dies real quick? Comes up, it's kind of like a shockwave. That's that. And then there's the flare in the middle, and so on and so forth. So you guys probably have a pretty good idea of how this stuff works, so I won't go into too much depth into it, hopefully. And so that's about it. Let me show you. They are separated in the Evolution RTS repository into generic helper explosions. There's actually only one thing in there. This is for the lightning. When the lightning hits, the lightning will stick around and still kind of like static discharge an area. Thanks Smoth for that, because he's the one that figured out how to do that. It's very cool. And it's pretty random too. Shell explosions, those are for weapons, of course. Weapon impacts. And unit explosions, of course, those are for units dying. Now, these do have, actually it shows you at the top of the file what they have. You have small, large, medium, and huge for the unit explosions. And for the shell explosions. Oh, that's the one I was in? Yeah. You have small, medium, and large for those. You can ignore that one and this one. This is the base one I started with, so I kept it around. If it does not have a color designation, that means it's orange. So, and there's that. Sparks are for things like beam lasers. I don't know how many of you guys have actually seen this before, but let's go ahead and give one E. Okay, and you'll see those are the sparks that come up. Okay. Now I did have the sparks climb up. You could actually have them come off in a ball, but I it looks better from up top with the way that they're working now, so, you know, whatever works. Anyway, okay, so that's enough of that. And so, yeah, you can get all this stuff just from the EVA repository. And yeah, hopefully this helps. Hopefully it can get put into ABC, so that way newbies can have really easy, great looking effects that they can just blanket apply to their units, and bam, done deal. I'm working on buildings. I'll have a building set fairly soon. In fact, I may work on that tonight. So we'll see what happens. And yeah, and if you are not super comfortable with making CEGs, you can take these as a template and make your own. Super easy. Super easy. It's extremely simple. Just fiddle around with some numbers, you'll get the trick, or you'll get the hang of it really quickly. Anyway, so hopefully this was helpful, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Assuming Gadget doesn't ban me from the forums again.